For millions of individuals across the modern globe, life has become an exhausting, never-ending fight for basic financial survival and resource security. We naturally and naively believe that if we finally secure a permanent, effortless stream of passive wealth, all our internal anxiety will instantly vanish. Imagine a highly successful entrepreneur who has finally built a powerful corporate structure, placed top professionals in key positions, and completely stepped away. Their business now operates with a flawless, automated efficiency, sending a massive, unstoppable flow of clean income directly into their bank account every single month. To the casual observer in the outside world, this magical position looks like the ultimate human paradise of absolute freedom, luxury, and endless relaxation. But deep cognitive psychology reveals that this exact moment of absolute financial victory frequently triggers a sudden, terrifying existential crisis of human meaning. When the urgent, everyday necessity to fight for food and shelter is permanently removed, the human brain suddenly loses its primary survival compass. The mind is an incredibly complex biological machine designed by evolution to actively solve difficult problems, overcome obstacles, and conquer external threats. Without a clear external enemy or financial target to chase, the freed mind unexpectedly turns its immense analytical power entirely inward on itself. The initial, chaotic phase of this post-money reality almost always begins with a frantic, short-lived wave of intense, hedonistic overconsumption. The individual rapidly buys the ultimate dream mansion, collects the rarest luxury vehicles, and travels to every single private island on the globe. They desperately try to stretch the simple pleasure of buying things, attempting to fill a growing internal void with expensive physical objects. But behavioral scientists thoroughly understand that the human brain quickly adapts to any new luxury through a cold process called hedonic adaptation. Within a few short months, the private jet feels just like a regular city bus, and the expensive mansion becomes just another quiet house. The terrifying realization quickly sets in. You have officially run out of material things to buy, but your soul still feels entirely unfulfilled. This brings the individual directly into the second psychological stage of wealth, which is defined by a profound existential boredom and deep isolation. They look at their quiet calendar on a weekend and realize they no longer have a compelling biological reason to get out of bed. The intense game of building a business that used to give them a massive daily rush of dopamine is officially completed and won. Many wealthy individuals at this dangerous crossroads fall into deep depressions, turning to extreme, risky behaviors just to feel alive again. They might begin making highly reckless financial investments, gambling massive sums, or chasing dangerous high-adrenaline stunts around the world. They are subconsciously trying to recreate the intense stress and high stakes of their early entrepreneurial days, just to restart their brain. However, those who successfully navigate this dangerous mental swamp eventually graduate into the third progressive stage, the pursuit of pure self-mastery. Once you don't need to work another hour for money, you finally possess the unlimited resources to work on the architecture of your mind. These individuals often become obsessive students of human potential, dedicating thousands of quiet hours to deep health, absolute longevity, and classic philosophy. They hire elite teams of scientists to optimize their sleep, spend weeks in silent meditation retreats, and read hundreds of heavy books. They treat their own physical body and psychological well-being as the ultimate, highly complex business project left for them to manage. They realize that true wealth is not the ability to buy endless luxury, but the absolute ownership of your own time and attention. From this stable state of high self-mastery, the individual naturally evolves into the fourth and final stage of wealth, the legacy phase. The human mind inherently craves a sense of true impact, wanting to know that its existence made a permanent dent in reality. The retired entrepreneur completely stops asking the narrow question, "How can I make more money?" and begins asking, "How can I fix this problem?" They channel their immense strategic intelligence, financial power, and massive global networks into large-scale philanthropy, science, or educational systems. They might fund a revolutionary medical laboratory, build advanced schools in impoverished areas, or dedicate their life to restoring dying ecosystems. They are no longer operating out of personal greed or social competition, they are operating out of a profound sense of cosmic duty. This critical shift from selfish accumulation to selfless contribution is the only true cure for the deep loneliness of extreme wealth. Interestingly, many of these individuals also choose to become elite mentors, passing their secret knowledge down to the next generation of builders. They find intense, genuine joy in watching a young, passionate mind overcome the exact same obstacles they faced decades ago in business. By teaching others, they keep their own hard-earned wisdom alive, transforming their personal history into a shared, helpful human blueprint. However, reaching this noble stage requires a massive, painful act of radical psychological honesty and complete ego dissolution. You must have the immense courage to completely step off the social hierarchy ladder and stop comparing your net worth to others. In the elite world of extreme wealth, there is always someone with a larger yacht, a bigger company, or a better portfolio. If you remain trapped in the toxic mindset of comparison, your millions of dollars will still leave you feeling completely poor inside. True financial freedom means reaching a point of personal saturation where you can look at your life and calmly say, "I have enough." When you declare that you have enough, the financial game officially ends and your real, authentic life story can finally begin. This post-money existence is not a lazy story of endless comfort. It is a challenging, noble journey of intense self-creation. You are finally stripped of all the convenient social excuses that regular people use to justify their lack of internal happiness. You can no longer tell your mind, "I am unhappy because I can't pay my bills," forcing you to face your raw psyche. Wealth does not automatically cure your deep-seated psychological trauma. It simply acts as a massive amplifier of who you already are. If you are a deeply insecure, anxious person, having $100 million will just make you a highly insecure, anxious millionaire. The money completely removes the external noise, leaving you completely alone in a quiet room with your own unhealed emotional shadows. This is why the ultimate achievement of a successful life is not the accumulation of capital, but the realization of inner peace. Real autonomy means being the absolute master of your own attention, your immediate impulses, and your daily philosophical choices. The wealthy person who is still constantly checking their stock portfolio every 5 minutes is not a master, they are a slave. True abundance is the deep, unshakable confidence that you can lose all your physical wealth tomorrow and still remain entirely whole. It is the capacity to look at a chaotic world and know that your value comes from your character, not your assets. If you are currently fighting the financial survival battle, honor your struggle, but never romanticize the ultimate destination. Build your external structures with intense discipline, but never neglect the building of your internal moral compass along the way. I'm Leo, and I hope this note illuminates the complex psychological realities hidden beneath the false illusion of extreme wealth. Look far beyond the shallow glamour of luxury, understand the true architecture of human purpose, and guard your consciousness. Decode your own mind. Refuse the easy traps of material comparison, think deeply about your existential path, and always stay grounded. Walk through this world with real intention, cultivate true internal self-mastery, and always, above all, protect your inner peace.